Hey guys, Brandon here. So, one of the biggest mistakes I'm seeing new writers make who are trying to hit a full time income with their writing is they're generalizing. So, if you are a copywriter and you're trying to earn a few $1,000s a month or more, you can't just lead and say, I'm a copywriter, hire me. You need to specialize. And what I mean by that is you need to pick one type of copy and master that one type and lead with that when you pitch. So that could be ads, emails, blog posts, tweets, landing pages, ebooks. There's a lot of options. And, I say this and people say, well, how do I pick one? I'm just going to show you what I think are the top three that you could go into today. Three of the best, in my opinion, in 2024. And I'm going to give you a little bit of insight as to like what kind of writing is behind each type. Because one of the best ways to figure out which specialty you should choose is just start writing the different types and see which ones you like. When I first started, I was training as a copywriter, but I actually specialized into blog posts first, even though blog posts are not super direct response copy. They're more so informational and educational, and it's more about content and search engine optimization and top of funnel. So, but that's what I started with. And later on, I skill stacked and went into email. And so those are my two main specialties. But today I'm going to share with you three specialties very quickly, including those two. So blog posts, emails, and landing pages. And I'm going to share with you how they're different, at least one aspect of them. And the main way these three different types of writing are different is they're all at different stages of a sales funnel. So if you are trying to become a copywriter, you better be studying marketing, you better be studying sales funnels and how digital marketing works, because it's gonna help you out way more as a copywriter the more you understand the whole marketing and sales system. So top of funnel means it is the moment someone first becomes aware of your brand. And usually that comes in the form of blog posts, top of funnel, somebody searching in Google for information, up comes a blog post. Like, hey, how do I make lots of money writing online in 2 hours a day? Boom, Dan Co newsletter, blog post pops up in Google. Click. So that would be an example of top of funnel, would be a blog post. Someone searches for it in Google. This could also be a YouTube video if you're searching for information on YouTube. This could also be a tweet. So if you put out a tweet and it goes viral and all of a sudden you reach a bigger crowd who've never heard from you before. Those are all examples of top of funnel writing. So blog posts, tweets, even writing YouTube scripts technically. So those are all, for the most part, especially with something like a YouTube video that's super tactical or in-depth, or a blog post, generally speaking, or a thread or a long form on Twitter, generally speaking, that's more content than direct response copy, but you can still make a lot of money with them. But this kind of writing overall is much more informational, educational, practical. Here's an example. So here's a blog post I wrote for Beehive, and it's on 12 newsletter growth channels to scale your audience. And so in this blog post, I have my intro here, and I dive into 12 newsletter growth channels to expand your audience. So it's a listicle. This is just straight up here's 12 examples of practical examples of how to actually do this thing. So somebody who would be searching for this in Google would say, hey, how do I grow my newsletter? And this blog post might pop up. So this is someone searching for a specific answer, a practical, tactical answer that's the meat and potatoes. Just tell me how to do the thing step by step, or give me the answer straight up. So I go into it, leverage social media, boom, 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 focus on SEO, spread the news with word of mouth, launch a referral program. So I'm just giving people the answers here in this blog post. Here's the exact step by step. I'm not trying to sell. I'm not trying to convert these people into buyers right away. But I am going to try to get them down the funnel and join Beehive for free, or whatever the thing is, right? all throughout with something like a blog post, I'm linking to other blog posts in Beehive's blog. So I'm trying to get people to engage with Beehive's content. And, on each blog post, there's a call to action to get a free trial of Beehive. But the main thing here is just to engage and provide value and get them reading other blog posts and linking to maybe features throughout when they're relevant. But I'm not doing hard sales here. I'm just giving information to attract the audience and to build trust and authority so people will sign up to the newsletter, get a free trial of the product, and get down the funnel from the top a little bit lower. And this is where an email list comes in and an email newsletter. This is where you go into mid-funnel. So when you're a top of funnel writer, we're talking blog posts, we're talking YouTube scripts, we're talking social media posts like tweets, where you are just trying to attract your audience. And usually it's by giving high value information, practical stuff, with the goal of getting them down to the mid funnel, which is where we're talking like basically your email list and newsletters. So here are a couple of examples of, actually, before we go into email, let's go right to landing pages. So at the top of funnel, we have blog posts, SEO, YouTube, Twitter, social media, and that's when you're trying to just attract an audience in. In between is email, where you're trying to nurture them and engage them and build that relationship and then start presenting offers. At the bottom of the funnel is where you actually want to sell. And this is the pinnacle of direct response copy. This is where you're actually putting out a sales page and you're saying, buy, get the product, get the service, whatever. And you're pushing for that conversion for a sale to actually make money. That is where a sales page lies, right here. So product pages, pretty close to this. Sales page, same idea. The example here is 2-hour writer for Danco. Learn the recession-proof skill for the digital economy without spending 4 years and 42 grand on a degree. Join the 8,573 students now. So this is a sales page, and the writing is very much direct response copy. So like this is if you're studying copywriting books and you're handwriting sales letters from the legends, this is the kind of skill and the kind of thing you're going to be writing. So, if you love writing copy, if you're super into direct response, if you are into writing long form, in-depth stuff that's actually selling, like hardcore selling, not so much giving the practical how-to, but like hyping up a product and service and leveraging, the different copywriting tactics, like mastering a headline, figuring out how to do a hook, like even, how to implement visuals, how to implement social proof, how to dive into copywriting formulas like problem, agitate, solution, or AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action, and actually leveraging like psychology, diving into pain points, desires, going into imagery, leveraging storytelling, and actually then selling the thing. So presenting the thing, presenting an offer, showing the price, showing off, again, massive social proof. I wonder how long this goes on for. Probably a long time. Yeah, just review after review. And then we go into price, where he actually asks you to buy the thing. Here's the price. Here's the upsell. Boom, boom, boom. Here's the FAQ to handle objections, all that stuff. So yeah, if you are into like hardcore direct response copy and you just like love this kind of thing, then try doing landing pages, try doing sales pages. Try writing even, Facebook ads, kind of toward the line of like trying to sell right from cold traffic as well. Yeah, if this is the kind of thing you're into, go after this. You won't know till you start writing it. So just start practicing writing a landing page. If you want to become a landing page copywriter, this is the highest potential for income of probably any copywriting, is the landing page, because you're right at the conversion. So think about this: the closer you are to the conversion, think about that funnel, top of funnel, mid funnel, bottom of funnel, the closer you get to the conversion, the more of an impact your writing has on revenue, the higher income potential you have. So that's where, if you choose to go into blog posts or tweets or YouTube scripts or whatever, you can still make good money, but like the income potential isn't as high as, let's say, a landing page copywriter or a video sales letter copywriter, which, there could be a video sales letter on the actual landing page to make a sale. Those types of copy, they have the highest income potential. They are also the highest and most direct response type copy. So, there's a lot that goes into it, a lot of research and a lot of psychology, a lot of split testing and whatnot to make sure you're actually making good sales. But that's kind of one difference between something bottom of a funnel like a landing page or a sales page and something top of funnel like a blog post, like I just showed you. Like right here, he's not going to give you, here's the step-by-step, step one, do this, and now you can be a 2-hour writer. He's saving that for the book. But here's where he's selling and teasing and hyping it up and showing you like, hey, now's the time to buy the thing and get all the in-depth answers on how to become the 2-hour writer. So I wanted to actually talk about the top and the bottom first, because then I wanted to show you email. So those are the first two specialties that I think are amazing. Something like blog posts or tweets, and then something like landing pages. Now we're going to dive into mid-funnel. And so we showed you the top when someone first gets introduced to the brand. Most people on this landing page, they have been watching Dan Koh's YouTube videos, reading his newsletters on his blog, reading his tweets. Like, this guy's everywhere now. So Instagram, wherever, and top of funnel, they're getting introduced to him for probably a while, maybe a few days, maybe a few hours, maybe a few weeks, and all of a sudden they land on this landing page. Probably got on his email list. And that's where the in-between happens. So let's go now in between. We talk about blogs, we talk about landing pages, and here's where email comes in. And I'm just going to say this straight up. I think email is the best specialty a new writer could go into. It may not be the right one for you, but it is one of my favorites. And here's one of the reasons why. Email is mid-funnel. Email is where you want to take your people on social media and SEO and Google and YouTube and wherever, Twitter land. Your goal from there should always be get someone on the email list. Get them to the mid-funnel. Whether you have to use a lead magnet, plug your email newsletter like a nut job like I do on Twitter, or put it in links in the description on YouTube, or whatever you got to do, like get people onto your email list. Why? Because email is actually where you nurture and build that relationship the best, because you have a direct line to your audience. So why is email so awesome? Besides the fact that it has the highest ROI of any marketing channel, you have a direct line to your audience. These people have specifically opted in to receive your marketing messages, unlike social media where they're only clicking follow because they kind of like your content. These people had to say, yeah, I agree to receive marketing messages. Here's why I like email the best in terms of a specialty. And it's because blog posts, they're more educational and practical and, somewhat more, they're less human in some capacity. I mean, you can add human elements, but it's usually just straight to the point. Here's the information. Here's what you need to do. Here's the practical step-by-step. Here's your answer. Landing pages and what we just saw with 2-hour writer, they're much more like, here's the product, here's the service, sales, buy. The short version of what copywriting actually is. The reason I think email is the best specialty to actually go into is because it is the most versatile, where you could write an email that is like totally practical how-to and kind of like a blog post or a long form tweet or a thread or a YouTube video or whatever, where you're literally just giving like a step-by-step, boom, 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 like a practical just like, here's the answers, here's all the information. And you could write it like that. But you could also write an email that's straight up salesy and is just like a landing page, and where you're going through and like, going right into selling a product or service and selling right from the email. You could potentially skip over the landing page entirely and just sell right from an email. And you can do stuff that's kind of in between. So which one is this? And you can also, with an email, a lot of people on Twitter, they'll post stuff that's more storytelling and just kind of education, not educational, but like more entertaining and more like building a connection with somebody and building rapport and using storytelling. So like you can do the practical email, you can do the story-based email, you can do the straight up sales email. So an email can really toy the line between mid-funnel to top of funnel to bottom of funnel, like very easily. That's harder to do with either one. So if you specialize in just blog posts or you specialize in just sales pages, it's not as easy. There's more of like a tight line of requirements for both of those things. But email, you can be versatile in how you write. You could write 3 lines in an email and send it off, and that's an email. Or you could write like 2,000 words and be like a sales page. Or you could write 2,000 words and just be a story. Or you could write 2,000. You don't have to write 2,000. That's a lot. But or you could write, a practical 500 word, 1,000 words, step-by-step, super practical thing like a blog post. So here's a quick example of a practical email. So I sent this one out a couple weeks ago. What I do if I had to start over in 2024, 3 steps to become a 6-figure copywriter this year. So I'm actually going to show you a step-by-step. And so in this email, I just do a very simple, story. 5 years ago, I quit my job right online. Since then, so going into authority stuff. Here's what I do if I had to get 6 figures. So I'm giving this step-by-step, but I'm also making it a little more personal, saying like, hey, here's my point of view and what I'd say. But I'm giving people a practical step-by-step, completely immerse myself in copy. So I'm shifting it back to tell people what to do. So I'm telling people just immerse yourself. You should do the same. Copywriting inputs and outputs all day long. Buy the books, courses, coaching, write as much as possible. All these things. So that's step 1. Step 2, specialize niche, which I'm talking about right now, specializing. So I'm saying here, here's what you need to do. You need to pick a specialty and a niche. So I'm just giving people the answer of here's step-by-step how you become a 6-figure copywriter. Go into a specialty, go into a niche. And then step 3 is start pitching. And I'm telling people, hey, this is strategy. Pitch your offline friends first, then start pitching online. And diving into the exact way to do it. So here's the way to reach out. Go look at someone's website. Go look at what they have. Sign up to their email list. Look at their whatever. Write them an audit. Write them a new email. Here's some example of tips you could offer. So I'm just giving people this is just the value. The value. This is it. And that's that. So literally just a step-by-step. So this is like a blog post. But then I have another email that is the subject line is that time I did door-to-door sales. So I'm not even saying hey, here's how you can do something. I'm literally just going right into a story. And there's a lesson in it. I'm not just going to tell a random story just because. But I tell a story of how I started doing sales with my wife a few years ago before I was a copywriter, and explained how I outsold the whole company of salespeople in my first week of being on the field, and why, and then how to apply that to building a copywriting business. So, I mean, even this one technically is a practical, but I'm leading with a story, leading heavily with a story and relating it. So I'm kind of blending it, but storytelling here. And then I have another one. I just did this one a week ago or whatever. And this is just straight up sales email. So 1 spot left in my July mentorship. So I just literally go right into it. This is my first line. I don't say, hey friend, how's it going? Oh, here's what I'm doing this past weekend. I'm just straight up, hey, you struggling to get your first writing client? My July mentorship starting, 1 spot left. Reply if you're interested. then I go into it. Here's what my thing, what's included in it. You get this, this, this. I go into some social proof. Who's this work for? I say, here's the results different people have gotten and what days they got the first client. I go into this isn't a huge sales page or anything, or a huge salesy email. It could be way longer, but I just go right into it. P.S. Here's some more social proof. Boom, boom, boom. Show off some graphics of testimonials, and then one more call to action. So I just put in a few call to actions, put in some urgency, put in some social proof, explained a bit of what's included in the mentorship, and sold. There was no story here. I mean, besides my client testimonials and their stories. There's no practical step-by-step, here's what you need to do. I'm just selling my program here. And that's an email. And this email got as many opens, pretty much the same open rate as the other emails. And that's that. And, that's the cool thing about email is it toys the line between you can go super practical, informational, educational, high value, not really aggressive on sales, or you go more salesy and do that kind of thing and go anywhere in between. So I know I mostly talk about email here, but those are 3 of my favorite specialties. Blog posts, top of funnel, Twitter long form, similar idea. Then there is email, mid funnel. Then there's landing pages. One of those 3 is awesome. There are plenty of specialties to choose from. Just pick one. And if you're not sure which one to pick, start writing landing pages. Start writing Twitter long forms. Start writing blog posts. Start writing emails. You won't know what specialty you should go into until you start doing the thing. You could consider the fact that blog posts are more informational. If you're more of a teacher and you like to, just give practical stuff and you want to write long form, go into that. If you are super hardcore, I don't care about the practical, educational, informational, I just want to sell and whatever, go into that. If you want more versatility, go into email. Likewise, if you want to have the highest income potential, go for sales pages. If you want to have a really good income potential still, go into email because it's closer to the money than blog posts. If you, don't care as much to be a multimillionaire copywriter and you just want to make good money still, but you just happen to like writing more practical stuff better, go into blog posts. You can still make really good money writing blog posts. But those are just a few considerations to make when picking your specialty. There's so many other ones, but yeah, just keep that in mind. The income potential, you can keep in mind the actual writing itself and what kind of writing, where it is in the funnel. And, from here, just go and start writing some. Go write some blog posts, go write some emails, go write some sales pages, and you'll see which one you like the best. If you enjoyed this, follow, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll be hitting you up with some more juicy, in-depth videos just like this with anything you need to help you get to full-time as a copywriter, whether you're trying to make an extra $1,000 a month, $5,000, $10,000, whatever it is. Just follow along and I'll hit you up with some more information.